Hello, television family. Always good to see you. Here we are again on this Tuesday, 6th day of December, 2022. I'm Dan Coons. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live here from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee. We only have 2 studios. 2's all you need. Sometimes, as you can see behind me, that is our camera up on Wenatchee Heights. Pretty cloudy, pretty foggy, pretty misty. 21 degrees. We're used to it by now, and it looks like we're going to get maybe a little bit more snow coming up than they were originally anticipating the last time you and I visited about 24 hours ago. There's a fairly well-organized system now. It's going to come in, especially over the weekend. We're going to get a little bit of snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Your Thursday morning commute could get a little dicey. You can get about an inch of snow by the time you get up on Thursday morning. Then we're going to get a little bit of a break Thursday and Friday. And then Friday night, the next system comes through. It's not a whopper, but it's starting, the computer models from the National Weather Service are starting to come together and thinking we may get a little more snow than they thought. So, again, a friendly reminder, it's still autumn officially, but it feels like it's been winter for about a month. And all the temperatures are going to be below normal, but they're not going to be really cold. I mean, we hit 30, what did we get yesterday? 26. Our normal high is 36, but it kind of felt warmer because it's been so darn cold lately. And we're also at that point where we have very little variation between our afternoon high and our overnight low. It was only a 5-degree difference yesterday. 26 is the high, 21 was the low. We'll be dealing with that too. And from the Climate Prediction Center, we'll give you your long-term forecast for the next few weeks as we get closer and closer to Christmas. So lots of weather to talk about. News, we will check that box as well. Sports, Gonzaga, they have a 69-game home winning streak, longest in the nation. But boy, they almost blew it last night at the Kennel against Kent State, but they pulled it off. We got highlights of that coming up, and we'll have a complete high school schedule on this busy Tuesday for the Caribou Trail League. They're getting now into league play, and we will have basketball for you tonight here on the NCAA Life Channel as the Othello Huskies come north to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. We'll have the boys and the girls for you tonight here on the NCAA Life Channel. And speaking of sports, Allie Shank, General Manager of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, will be my guest. I'll talk baseball with anybody, any time of the year. This gets me through from the end of the World Series to the first pitch of opening day to get a little baseball talking with Allie Shank from the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Never too early to plant that seed. Let's get going. Let's take our tour. See what we got with Local Sky-Fi cameras, and that's what we got. That's what it is. We show you a live shot from Wenatchee Heights, and that's what we're looking at. You can barely make out the Fred Meyer area there. The center of the George Seller Bridge is completely obliterated by the mist and the fog. That's just what it is. We're a ways from sunrise. We're still a half an hour away from sunrise. 7:33 this morning. Sunset 4:10. 8 hours and 37 minutes of daylight. Losing about 45 seconds of daylight a day. No big dramatic change, but certainly noticeable. Camera 2, I think we're up to Rude Canyon. We're not being rude. We're just heading on up to the canyon there. That's up near Waterville. And I see lots of snow and lots of gray. Again, this is how the camera... Oh, it just switched over to color. Wow, that's pretty cool. You know how this works by now. They automatically defaults to chroma key. It automatically goes to black and white. When it gets dark enough, the idea is to let in as much light as possible. And then when it gets light enough, the cameras automatically switch to color, although you can't really tell much between color and black and white. Maybe a little blue up there. Good morning to our friends in Rude Canyon. What's Cashmere up to today? Cashmere looks something like that. I believe that's from our, I don't know, is that our Apple Andes camera? Or maybe that's, yeah, I want to say that's the Apple Andes camera. That's what I'm thinking anyway. You can see the traffic cruising on in from the Upper Valley into the Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday morning. Outside of that, good morning to Cashmere. You can see Riverside Park. I guess you can make that out pretty good. That's high above the Apple Andes Antique Mall. And speaking of Cashmere, I think we got Hay Canyon camera fired up and going, and we do. That is the brand new Goodwin Bridge, the West Cashmere Bridge, whatever the heck you want to call it. Man, well, that was, of course, it was the biggest public works project in the history of Chelan County. It took years to plan, and then, of course, they had to tear down the old bridge and build the new bridge where the old bridge was, and that was a big inconvenience for a lot of folks, but everybody is happy with that improvement as we look over there. What do you want to call it? The Goodwin Bridge, the West Cashmere Bridge, the Captain Wagner Memorial Bridge? I don't know. Call it whatever you want. I'm all for that. Let's show a couple of slides from the National Weather Service. This is a kind of a where you can plan your traveling coming up for the rest of the week. Not a lot happening. Just some light snow here and there. None in the Wenatchee Valley. Right now the passes are okay. Traction tires are advised on Stevens, advised on Blue, no advisories or restrictions on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass. Then we start talking about a little bit of snow. Thursday morning, we're going to see some snow. Going to dry off a little bit Thursday afternoon. The next round of snow comes in late Friday night, goes into Saturday. So as far as likely snow, early Thursday morning and then Friday night into Saturday. That is our best chance of measurable snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Other locations, especially to the north of us, again, the Methow Valley and up in the Okanagan County area, you could get upwards of 2 to 4 inches of snow by the time these next two systems, one weak and one fairly more organized, passes through our way. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is effective starting December 11th. It looks something like this. Looks something like this. Oh, we didn't import it. I'll just tell you. We have a better than 50-50 chance of having cooler than normal temperatures and a better than 50-50 chance of having more precipitation. So colder than normal, wetter than normal is the 6 to 10 day outlook that begins in the next, next week anyway. We will actually show you those slides before we close the show out from our friends at Apple Valley Honda. And the National Weather Service here is your forecast. Sun's taking the day off again today. Going to be cloudy, going to be foggy. A couple of degrees warmer. 29 is our forecast high today after getting 26 on Monday. And the reason it's a little bit warmer is it's a little bit warmer to start the day. So we're already a little bit ahead of the curve there. Patchy fog, clouds again, 23 for the overnight low tonight. Kind of typical gray December weather. Then we start talking snow. Now this is early Wednesday morning. We're talking 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Wednesday night into Thursday. So by the time we wake up Thursday morning, you get up and get going just about this time, 48 hours from now, we are going to have a little bit of snow, maybe right around an inch by the time that system passes out. It comes through by Thursday afternoon. It'll be done. The snow is probably done by Thursday noon, roughly. Then we dry out Thursday night. Friday, as we go deeper into the day, we have a better chance of snow by Friday night. We have a good chance of about an inch to an inch and a half of snow, maybe even a total of 2 inches of snow between Friday night to about noon on Saturday. So commuting around on Friday night and Saturday morning could get a little dicey. Then we have a continuing chance of snow, really hit and miss, Saturday night, Sunday, and Sunday night. So again, pretty dry today. We have a band of snow, not big. That's going to be Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Then we dry out, and then Friday night, Saturday, a more organized system will bring us a little bit more snow than we're expecting early Thursday morning. That's your forecast. 8 minutes after the hour, going to take a break, and then we'll have your headlines for you on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, this is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We carry the latest in quality children's wear like Riley & Crew, Kite Baby, Little Sleepies, and more. Come visit us for mommy and me styles, diaper bags and strollers, and great books and toys for all ages. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
As you can see, it's foggy and a tad misty. It's 21 degrees. No sunshine today. Upper 20s for the afternoon high. Pretty quiet and benign, all things considered. Most of the day, Wednesday as well. Light snow Wednesday night into Thursday. We catch a break, and then more snow, maybe a couple of inches, Friday night into Saturday. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Brewster police arrested a juvenile on Friday after learning of an alleged threat to shoot up Brewster Middle School. That was supposed to happen yesterday, apparently. Brewster Police Chief Marcos Ruiz said the school district reported that some students received a group message Friday with a picture of a gun warning them not to go to school on Monday. Ruiz said officers quickly tracked down and arrested the sender of the message. They reported finding the gun in the photo, which turned out to be a pellet gun, which did not have bright colored markings. Ruiz did not say if the arrested juvenile was a student at the school. Chelan's new hospital building opened for business yesterday. Lake Chelan Health officially unlocked the doors. It's a hospital. Do they actually lock the doors? Anyway, it's ready to go at 110 South Apple Blossom Drive. The opening, of course, was originally scheduled for early last month, but had to be rescheduled because they had delays in getting health and safety inspections finalized. The new $44 million complex replaces the old Lake Chelan Hospital, which was built back in 1972 and had become simply too small and outdated for the Chelan and Manson area. Chelan County getting ready to pick a date for when they swear in their brand new elected officials. They haven't locked it down yet, but Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay said yesterday the ceremony will likely be held on either December 28th or December 29th at the Chelan County Courthouse. Details are still being finalized. Elected officers assume their posts on January 1st. That's according to state law. Among those to be sworn in after their victories in November's general election, incoming County Commissioner Sean Smith, Sheriff-elect Mike Morrison, District Judge-elect John Volan, Alan Blackman, by the way, who was appointed by the Chelan County Commission to replace Judge Kyle Mott. He was sworn in last Friday. The 8th District's member of Congress says the current outbreak of RSV means, well, it should be declared an emergency. Representative Kim Schreier, who is also a pediatrician, called on President Biden to make the declaration in a Seattle Times op-ed over the weekend. It was co-written with the CEO of Seattle Children's Hospital. RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, has hospitalized about 7 times as many people this year compared to the 5-year average. The vast majority of those people hospitalized children under the age of 17. In their column, Schreier and Seattle Children's Chief Executive Jeff Spearing called on the Biden administration to declare a public health emergency, similar to the one that was declared for COVID-19. They write that doing so would, and I'm quoting now, allow our healthcare system more flexibility to smartly allocate resources and care for children. City of Wenatchee is still looking for a developer to take over that 8-acre site on North Wenatchee Avenue that used to be the home of the Washington State Department of Transportation, the former warehouse and industrial neighborhood, ready for new commercial development. Of course, it was the state's DOT yard. It was closed. The buildings were torn down. Of course, there was a lot of destruction after the Sleepy Hollow fire back in 2015. On Thursday, the City Council agreed to continue a contract with the Alabama firm called Retail Specialists to market the property for possible retail use.
The item before you is the exclusive listing agreement between the city and Retail Specialist. This is basically a proposed extension to the existing contract. So we had an MOU with Retail Strategies for the past year, which expired in September. That was the contract that allowed them to market the North Wenatchee property for us. It also had the ability for them to be the developer for the property if they so chose to do that once they did some more due diligence on the property. This agreement continues to move the listing component, so the marketing component, for another 6 months. It does not include the ability for them to be the sole developer anymore, though. So in essence, they're acting as our real estate broker for the property. It's for 6 months. There's a variety of different agencies here because Retail Specialist is a Alabama company and they're actually under a different division, and so they're using Danes Capital. So happy to explain that if there's additional questions. They're also partnering with a local Washington firm since they're not licensed to do business in Washington. So that being said, it's a 6-month agreement for them to continue to market the property for us. The property has been a little bit quiet for some time. We're working on securing the anchor tenant. We anticipate that once we secure that anchor tenant, we'll really be able to do a lot of more work. So the 6 months should provide us the ability to continue to vet those additional proposals.
And boy, did this photo go viral yesterday. This was on Sunday. A Washington State Patrol trooper spotted this on Highway 16 in Kitsap County. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. The driver, who you can't see because the driver couldn't see, was issued a $533 ticket for second-degree negligent driving. Apparently, the driver told the trooper that his windshield wipers weren't working. They're supposed to be working. And, of course, the lesson here is remove the snow from your car before you drive out on the highway. What do? Roll down the window? Anyway. That's just making news at 1/4 after the hour. We will have news, of course, as we always do, at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And sandwiched between the 6 o'clock and the 10 o'clock news tonight, high school basketball. The Othello Huskies and the East Mile Wildcats will have a doubleheader for you tonight. With a preview of the news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, mostly cloudy and continued chilly today and tomorrow before more snow moves our way Thursday and Friday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, we'll take a look at last night's Monday night football game, and we'll have a look at what's coming up in high school sports tonight. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget, you're not locked into those times to watch the news on television. If you want to watch it at your own convenience, we always put our newscast up and running on our Facebook page and on our homepage, too, so you can watch them whenever you want to. We try to be as convenient as possible. And we also try to make it as easy as possible for you to get a hold of us. You can email us at the address that you see at the bottom of your screen. You can go to our Facebook page and use the Messenger app, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com. When we come back, highlights from Gonzaga's somewhat nerve-wracking victory over the Kent State Golden Flashes in Spokane last night, and we'll preview high school sports. It's a busy schedule on this Tuesday. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Give the gift of amazing sights and sounds this Christmas. Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater is the clear choice for a brighter, bolder holiday season.
Chelan Wireless is making the switch, and so should you. The switch to T-Mobile, that is. Now you can get the 5G experience America's talking about right here in downtown Chelan. Stop by and see why the switch is on to T-Mobile at Chelan Wireless.
18 minutes after the hour in sports, Gonzaga, their men's basketball team, won their 69th consecutive game at the McCarthy Athletic Center last night, but it was not easy. Drew Timme scored 29 points, had 17 rebounds. Number 18, Gonzaga, closed the game on an 11-0 run to rally past Kent State 73-66. Now, Kent State led 66-62 with 3:38 left, but then the Bulldogs tightened up on the defensive end, and they got a bunch of big plays offensively to close out the game. Next up for the Zags, Friday night, the Washington Huskies and Gonzaga in Spokane. Again on Friday night. All right, high school basketball. We believe in chivalry here, so it's ladies first. Here's your schedule. Othello will take on the Eastmont Wildcats at 5:45. Now, we're going to have that for you on our Facebook page live at 5:45. We'll have the game on television on a tape delay basis, so we won't miss the news. Moses Lake travels down to Walla Walla, a town so nice they named it twice. They'll get going at 7:30. And it's time for league play in the Caribou Trail League. The Cashmere Lady Bulldogs will be in Omak at 5:45, and Quincy will be at Chelan also at 5:45. Tipping off a little bit later is Cascade at Cle Elum Roslyn in non-league game. Boys basketball, again, Othello in East Wenatchee to take on Eastmont. We'll have that for you live here on the NCAA Live channel. Grand Olson with the call at 7:30. Tonight, Ellensburg, the Bulldogs, will be taking on the Wenatchee Panthers at 7 o'clock. Walla Walla is at Moses Lake at 6:45 in boys basketball. Cashmere, again, at Omak at 7:15. The Quincy Chelan boys will tip it up at about 7:15 in league play. And Cascade is at Cle Elum Roslyn. The boys are at 7:30. Girls bowling. Eastmont Lanes will be hopping today. The Wenatchee Panthers will host the Davis Pirates, and the Eastmont Wildcats will host the Sunnyside Grizzlies. They'll roll the pins at 2 o'clock. Moses Lake takes the trip down to Eisenhower to take on the Cadets at 3 o'clock. Everybody into the pool. Wenatchee will host West Valley, the Rams at the Wenatchee High School pool. They'll start swimming and diving at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, Moses Lake will host Walla Walla, Pasco, and Chiawana at Lions Pool. That's at 4 o'clock. Seattle Kraken, of course, saw their 7-game winning streak came to an end. They'll try and start a new one tonight as they welcome the Montreal Canadiens to Climate Pledge Arena. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. You can watch it on Root Sports Northwest. And as the Seahawks get ready to take on the Carolina Panthers this Sunday, Geno Smith, the quarterback, reflected on his game-winning pass to DK Metcalf in the waning seconds on Sunday.
You know, the NFL is full of tight window throws. You're going to have to be able to make those. You got great defenders out there. Ramsey's a great corner. And on that play, DK was lined up on the backside. He came across on an over route. Ramsey was right on his back, and there was a safety kind of right in front of him. So there wasn't a huge window. But, I mean, when you got DK Metcalf, you know, big 6'4" receiver, 220, 230, it's going to be hard for those guys to get to the ball before he does. And so I just tried to put it on him, allow him to, you know, use his skill set, and he made a tremendous catch. A game winner, man, it's always great. You know, especially the way that we did it today. We were gritty. It took every single man on the team, took every player on offense, and we just continued to fight. We had an opportunity there. We could have just said, hey, let's just settle for the field goal. No one was in that mindset. You know, we all were thinking, let's go win the game, and we got it done.
Quarterback Tariq Woolen set a new franchise record for most interceptions in a season. He got his 6th interception in the second quarter.
Did you see this coming? 6 interceptions in 12 games?
I got a list of goals in my phone I look at, and just one of my goals, you know, I passed one of them already, and I just got a couple more to go. But I just have faith in myself, and once I just keep gaining confidence and just kept trusting myself and just gaining faith in my teammates and coaches, you know, that helps me play a lot better, and it shows out on the field.
Can you take us through the interception, please?
It was a great call by the coaches, and it was a cover 3 call, more of a true cover 3. Most of we are matching with receivers, and I just bailed into my zone, and the running back wheeled into my zone, and I kind of like baited it a little bit, and the quarterback threw it, and I just went ahead and just picked the ball off. You know, those type of balls, especially the D ones, I feel like those ones I really like the most because when they come, I feel like they mine. So that was just another opportunity. That was a gift, and I just took it, and that was the 6th one.
Is that the first one you've got this season where you actually take the quarterback into throwing it?
No. I feel like, a couple of them was like that, but I just use it as my tactic. That's all.
Quarterback Geno Smith talked about the importance of winning games against teams in your own division and the Seahawks' push to the playoffs.
Geno, what did it mean to get that game-winning drive?
Yeah, for us it meant a lot. You know, right now we're, fighting to trying to get into the playoffs. Division game against a division opponent. It was a real tough game out there. As you guys can see, it was a real scrappy game out there. And I also felt like during the season we had some opportunities where we could have done the same thing and might have fell short. And so as we continue on late into the season, you want to show improvement. And I think that's what it showed. A lot of grit, determination. You see a bunch of different guys made plays, made catches, and the offensive line did a great job. And so, it's something that we got to have. The games are going to come down to that in the NFL. That's what the playoff games are going to feel like, and it was real good to get a win.
Seahawks hosting the 4-8 Carolina Panthers. They'll kick it off at 1:25 at Lumen Field, and you can watch it on Fox. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 26 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday. Tuesday. 5 obscure holidays across my desk. It is St. Nicholas Day. Happy St. Nicholas Day. It's also Put On Your Own Shoes Day. I've been doing that since I was about 3. National Pawnbrokers Day. It's National Gazpacho Day. Why anybody would want a bowl of cold soup on a day like today is beyond me, but no. It's time to get out your Amana radar range. It's National Microwave Oven Day. That's an advertisement from 1956. To head on down to your local store and pick yourself up a microwave oven. It ran you about $600 back then. Interestingly enough, when microwave ovens became available to the general public, of course, they were unbelievably expensive, even for the time. Again, they ran about $600 to get the Amana radar range in 1956, and they marketed it to single men. Single men, because they figured single men would have more disposable income. Now, they didn't like to cook so much, but so if you make cooking easier and quicker, single men might be more inclined to buy a microwave oven. Now they're everywhere, of course. They made a lot of improvements since 1955. And everybody has one now. Some people have 2 or 3 microwave ovens. Every office has a microwave oven. They're everywhere. They've changed the way we cook. When I first got my very first microwave oven, way back after I moved out of the house, it was like, man, I can cook everything I want in a microwave oven. I use my microwave probably once a day, if I wanted to guess at it. Happy National Microwave Oven Day. I no longer have my 1955 Amana radar range, though. I gave it away. Happy National Microwave Oven Day today. That was a game changer, 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, happy birthday to the Washington Monument. They finally got it done. Man, it took long enough. December 6th, 1884, the Washington Monument is completed. It stands 5 1/8 inches tall. They started construction in 1848. And then in 1854, they stopped for any number of reasons. First of all, they ran out of money. And then the committee in charge of building the Washington Monument, the Washington National Monument Society, they started fighting within themselves because everybody wanted to be in charge of it. And then there was that Civil War thing. I kind of put the kibosh on it. And so they didn't do anything. It just sat there unfinished for 23 years. And then finally, after the Civil War, U.S. Grant, the president said, the federal government will pay to get this darn thing done. And you can tell when you look at it, about 150 feet up, you can see where they stopped and where they started again because they used 2 different kinds of marble in the 23-year time period when they didn't actually build the Washington Monument. And size matters in our nation's capital. By federal law, no building in Washington, D.C. can be taller than the Washington Monument, which is why you see no skyscrapers in our nation's capital. The Washington Monument is 138 years old today. 65 years ago today, of course, we fell behind the Soviets in the artificial satellite thing. Earlier in 1957, they launched Sputnik 1. Everybody went, wow, okay, we better get caught up. And then they launched Sputnik 2, and we still hadn't done anything. So as we roll footage, it's time to us to get into the satellite business. So here comes Vanguard TV3, our first attempt to launch an artificial satellite into Earth's orbit. We were a little behind the times, but we were ready to go. The Vanguard 3, that's it, right there, that little round thing. They're going to put the cone on top of it. And we're going to shoot it off into space and start catching up with the Soviets. So the Vanguard is on its way to space. On its way to, oh, poop. Okay. Yeah. Didn't work. Now, nobody was hurt. In fact, the actual Vanguard TV3 satellite survived. It shot out and landed about a half a mile away from the launch pad. It was too damaged to use. It's now at the Johnson Space Center. Here's the headlines the next day. U.S. ready to fire space rocket today. And then the next day, the headline is, well, oops. We'll try again. Space exploration and space flight is complicated. It's very complicated. What's not so complicated is when you get together the Hells Angels, a bunch of beer, and a bunch of drugs and hold a rock and roll concert. That happened on December 6, 1969, the infamous Altamont Free Concert with the Jefferson Airplane, Santana, the Flying Burrito Brothers, the Grateful Dead was supposed to play. They showed up, they looked around at people tripping out on LSD and the Hells Angels beating each other upside the head with pool cues, and the Grateful Dead said, "We're out of here." The Rolling Stones eventually took the stage. 18-year-old fan Meredith Hunter was stabbed to death by Hells Angels. They were hired as security guards for $500 worth of beer. There were 3 other deaths, 2 of them accidental. A hit-and-run car accident. Somebody overdosed on LSD. Tons of people were injured. A bunch of cars got stolen and abandoned. Extensive property damage at the Altamont Speedway, which was about 70 miles due east of San Francisco. Altamont Speedway closed, by the way, a number of years ago. But for a lot of people, what was supposed to be Woodstock West turned into an absolute abject disaster. December 6, 1969. And finally, for the first and only time in this country's history, the 25th Amendment to put a vice president into office happened. December 6, 1973, after Gerald Ford was approved by the United States House of Representatives to be the next vice president by a vote of 387 to 35. The Senate had already confirmed him a couple of weeks earlier. House of Representatives did their job, rubber stamp, and Gerald Ford was sworn in as the 40th vice president of the United States, the first and only time the 25th Amendment was used to put in a new vice president. He would eventually get the big gig himself. Birthdays. Born 102 years ago today, the great jazz pianist Dave Brubeck, whose 1959 album Time Out became the first jazz album ever to sell 1 million copies. And the song Take 5, which I think everybody knows, became the first Jazz 45 to sell 1 million copies. It is still the highest selling jazz single of all time. Almost went to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And it's in 5/4 time, which is pretty ironic and pretty strange in the world of jazz. The great Dave Brubeck, the jazz pianist, born in the state in 1920, along with the saxophonist Paul Desmond, made some great jazz music for a lot of time. I'm going to say the name Elian Gonzalez. Elian Gonzalez. And you're going to go, wait a minute. Who's that again? Elian Gonzalez. He's 29 years old today. Way back in November of 1999. You remember this? Elian Gonzalez's mother and his mother's boyfriend tried to get across the Gulf of Mexico from Cuba to Miami. His mother and his mother's boyfriend drowned. He was 5 years old. They found him in an inner tube about 3 miles off the coast of Fort Lauderdale. He was brought on shore by the Coast Guard. And then, of course, this whole massive months-long fiasco because he had relatives in Miami who said, we want to keep him. But his biological father was in Cuba, in Havana. He said, he's my kid. I'm his father. He needs to be returned to Cuba. It was a huge thing. You remember that? And finally, the federal government ordered Elian Gonzalez to be returned to his father in Cuba. But this thing lasted for months on end. And of course, the famous photo when the INS went in and took Elian Gonzalez to return him to his parents. He's 29 years old today. He's doing all right. He's a technician now in Cuba. And happy birthday to my favorite Japanese sumo wrestler. There he is. Wakata Akachi Asubde. I don't want to mess his name up. Wakatasaka Akazi Asushi. 29 years old today. Love my sumo wrestling. 34 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. And then, hey, it's time to talk baseball. Allie Shank, good friend of ours. She's the general manager of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. You got a baseball fan on your Christmas wish list? We'll plant a few seeds, and we'll talk about the 2023 Apple Sox with Allie. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. 50 years ago. That's legendary. 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 50 years ago. That's legendary.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Renaissance artist Michelangelo. Now, come on, that man, he was an incredible genius, and his sculptures are nothing short of miraculous. Good grief. Thinking of him often makes me wonder, where are the similar geniuses of today? I don't have to admit, among others, I think Pete Townsend of The Who is one. Really. I mean, despite his drinking, drugging, and libertine lifestyle, which actually, frankly, puts him in the company of other artistic geniuses, his creation of the rock opera Tommy, as well as many of his other works, puts him right up there. Now, Alan Turing, the father of the theoretical science that broke the Nazi naval Enigma code, is certainly another. And another one of my favorites, a comic genius, Steve Harvey of Family Feud. Oh, come on, that guy is incredible. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, maybe not as genius as Michelangelo, but genius in a different way. Steve Harvey. Gotcha, dude. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and that's my opinion.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from LocalTel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from LocalTel lets you decide when shows begin.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
I'm here at Boswell's Home Furnishings to announce one of their newest lines of furniture, Builtwell, an amazing local furniture maker in Oregon.
Hi, can I help you?
I was just telling my friends.
About Builtwell? They have exquisite craftsmanship, superior construction. I love their designs. Builtwell is a great addition to the wide selection of quality furniture you'll find here at Boswell's.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Are you raising a grandchild or another relative's child? If so, kinship programs may be available for your family. Kinship Care is the full-time care of children by relatives. Kinship Care maintains family, cultural, and community ties. It's the oldest form of family preservation and an important safety net for children whose parents are either unable or unwilling to care for them. To learn more about Kinship Care or to find a support group near you, please contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care, they speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Give the fabulous flavor of classic European-style chocolates from Chocolat in Leavenworth. Each chocolate is handcrafted with quality ingredients in exquisite designs. A gift from Chocolat will delight anyone on your holiday shopping list.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome back to the program. It is the depths of December. It is snow on the ground. It's cloudy. It's gray. It's time to talk baseball, of course, as we transition into the holiday season. And to talk Apple Sox baseball specifically, General Manager of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, an old friend of our program, Allie Shank. Hello, Allie.
Hello, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
Allie, of course, is a synonym for the greatest, as is Allie. What do you do this time of the year? I mean, it's the season ended in August. We made the playoffs. We love that. Mitch did a great job. Had a good year. Now what? What do you do between September and first pitch come June?
Lots of stuff. Just, always doing different things to kind of set up everything for the season. So do a lot of the operational stuff that just has to be set in stone, kind of setting up our hotels, having our visiting teams set up for when they're coming in. Now that we officially have our schedule out, that's been nice because I'm actually able to kind of sit down instead of talking these non-tangible things. I'm actually able to talk about specific dates and exactly when we're looking at things on the calendar, so that's nice. But
yeah, it should be pointed out that there is some downtime in the wintertime for Allie, but really not that much. Because once the season starts, you work every day. There is no off day, really, for you, even when you're on the road.
Yes.
There's no off days for you guys.
No
so you
days.
basically work every day for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. No, I did take a nice little chunk of time off, so I got to go visit family, which was
cool.
Very nice.
Back in Georgia?
Yeah, but I just went back east. I did a trip up to Maine to visit family that they were all kind of visiting up there all together, so it was nice.
Okay.
Not really family reunion, but kind of along those lines. So got to see the new nephew, got to see the new babies in the family. Which
I was happy I remembered Georgia.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, you did. That was good.
I did good. Speaking of Georgia, this has nothing to do with Georgia. How's Joel doing? He's in the Midwest. Joel Norman, the broadcasting voice and media relations for the Apple Sox. He's got more than one job. It's not just the Apple Sox. He's back in Nebraska calling hockey, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's with the USHL team over there, so he's liking it a lot. I don't know how much he'll like it once it starts to get down into the 10s and the 5s and the negative 10s, because
and he played a significant role in bringing Austin Droughty to the Wenatchee Wild. They're old broadcasting buddies, Joel and Austin are. And when Austin thought about it, he got a hold of Joel, and Joel said, "You're going to like it here in Wenatchee. They're good people, and it's a good town." So he lied, but Austin got the gig. And Austin Droughty, voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Good guy. It's a nice call. Good. So thank you to Joel for helping expedite that.
Oh, yeah. And actually, when Joel's going to be visiting for Christmas, and Austin and I think, are going to go grab a beverage and go hang out.
Well, when Joel comes into town for the holidays, if he wants to do the show, I'm booked.
Oh.
Whatever day it is, I'm sure I'm booked. I'm kidding. We love Joel. Mitch is coming back. Mitch Darlington, the first ever coach in Apple Sox history in his first season to lead the team to a playoffs. Even Ed Nags didn't do that, the legendary Ed Nags. So it probably wasn't too hard after the season was over. He took a couple of weeks off. Then he sat down with Mitch in September and said, "You want to come back?" How hard a negotiation was it?
It wasn't that hard. We actually sat down in the middle of the season and talked about that anyways. Once he kind of figured out what was going on, we sat down mid-July, end of July, I guess, kind of beginning of August, and just said, "Okay, you ready to come back?" And he just said that he would love to be back. He's really excited to see what next year brings, especially after being the first head coach to take his team in the first season out to the playoffs. That's really cool. So we were really excited about that, and he's just excited to do better next year. So we're hoping for an actual championship arrival, but no, we're thrilled to have Mitch back, and we have some new coaches coming on. So we're excited.
Glad the fact that you offered Mitch, it's your job if you want it, essentially. So that's the kind of thing that
Yes.
that we like.
He was, I mean, he's such a great person. He's a great coach, and he's just a wonderful asset to have around. And he's very connected to the community, which is a really big thing that we've learned here. It's just you have to have those community connections because it's such a big deal here.
We've interviewed Mitch, as you see on screen, a number of times in the last summertime. One of the things I noticed when I was observing him with the team taking practice and stuff like that, he understands the fine line between we're playing baseball and we're having fun, but on the other hand, we want to win games, and you guys want to improve your skill set to improve your marketability to do your baseball career. That's a tough balance to strike, but Mitch seems to do that okay.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. And he's really about growing these people as humans too, and just making them better people. Just not just on the baseball field, but also in real life too. So he's a really good person to just shape these young men into the better baseball players and also better people.
And it's not an easy job because I think most people know, but for the uninitiated, at the early part of the season, there's a huge roster turnover because most of the players that have agreed to come to the Apple Sox are still playing college ball. Then they come, then they play, and then the last 10 days of the season, a lot of them have to go back to school to either begin fall ball or just to take a break before school begins. So when you're dealing with that kind of roster turnover, you got maybe 50, 60 guys on the roster during the course of the year. It's not easy.
No, it's not. I think we had about 57 guys come through the Sox this past year and wear Apple Sox jerseys, and so that was a big change. In the years past, we've had a few less guys, but it's always just that's the way college baseball is going nowadays because guys have to have time off. Their college coaches want them to have a certain amount of time where they get a break, where they can rest and rehab a little bit because they are just playing nonstop throughout the year, and then all of a sudden they turn around, come here and play basically every day, and it's hard on your body, and they have to take a break at some point.
Yeah,
so.
Even if you're just 19 or 20 years old, it's still not a very easy thing to do. Thank goodness they love the game. The 2023 schedule is out, and you can go to applesox.com. It's right there. You can check it out. Already start picking out your season ticket packages and stuff like that. Talk about the schedule making process when the teams from the WCL get together. I suppose they have one big meeting somewhere at a central location and everybody hashes out what they want, or does Rob Nyer just do it? How does that whole thing work?
So actually, Jose, the Apple Sox owner, is kind of an instrumental person in putting together the schedule, but the WCL teams do all kind of meet as one. The owners meet as a group, and they deal with blackout dates. They talk about if they want to be on specific weekends at home, stuff like that. But you don't really have that much flexibility in terms of scheduling because you really are. It's 16 teams that we all want home dates on weekends.
Everybody wants to play at home Friday and Saturday. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but so some of the owners get together, and Jose kind of built an algorithm that he used to kind of piece together the blackout dates, piece together all the different pieces of information that have to go into the scheduling from the different teams' perspectives, and so they send it out. People kind of vote on it from the league, and so it comes back with a bunch of red marks. Goes out again with a new schedule format, comes back with a bunch of red marks again. So that process kind of continues throughout until we all just kind of agree that this is the best schedule for everyone. So it's a lot of give and take, but it's about a 2-month process that really does take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy from a lot of people, not just one person, because it used to just be one person, and I think that was awful for everyone because there was just not a lot of give and take. And we also have 16 teams now in the league, which before we were dealing with 8 to 12 teams, just depending on which year you were in. And so just having that many more teams to coordinate has been really difficult, I think. But they've made it all work. So
plus 16 teams, 16 stadiums, and a lot of these stadiums, as you mentioned before, have other tenants who say, hey, I need this date because I'm having an American Legion tournament or the circus is in town or whatever. So it's not necessarily as easy as that. The team just gets to pick the dates, and the ballpark is going to be there for them. There's other.
Yep, because we share with the college, and so the college, if they have different tournaments or different things that they're running, we do have to kind of make sure that we're working with them and make sure that we're just working together. But a lot of other teams definitely do have that. So it is a lot of give and take, but like I said, just a lot of red marks going back, rehashing. That's just the way life works. So.
Just a reminder, if you want to circle a date, opening night is June 20th. Non-league, of course, they played a lot of non-league games early.
What?
And then there's the schedule right there. Point out the schedule.
Dan, June 20th is not opening date.
Not June. I said June 2nd, and I meant June 2nd. That's the Bend Elks, but the home opener is when, Allie?
June 6th.
June 6th.
June 6th.
So, and where's July? Where's the July 4th thing?
July 3rd we have a fireworks night. We're also going to be doing a fireworks night on June 9th.
Oh, two
to
of them
kind of
this year.
kick off the whole season, too.
I love that.
Yeah. And before fire season.
Yeah, really. So fans, take a look at that schedule. Again, go to applesox.com and you can look at the schedule. And then you can start picking out your tickets, your ticket packages, the season tickets, the double play packages. Walk me through all that good stuff.
Yeah, so we do have a few different packages available online right now. We do have a double play package, which has 10 general admission tickets that are good for any game in 2023, even playoff games, whatever happens there. So they are you can use them all at once. You can use them sporadically throughout the season, but it's a $60 package, and so you kind of get more tickets for a better value than what you would pay for face value at the gates. And then otherwise we do have our just season ticket packages available, so if you want more information about those, you can call our office at 509-665-6900, or you can also just reach out to me, and we can kind of go over the different packages, but typically we just have our general admission and our premium season package. And then we also are going to be offering our single game tickets starting the beginning of April, and so that's just something to look forward to, but no official specific dates yet that we can actually solidly pick.
I understand. But there's also a way you can just guarantee yourself season tickets. That's become a billet family. If you're a billet family, you get season tickets among other things. So it's that traditional, you got a bed and a refrigerator and a bathroom. We'd love to hear, the Apple Sox love to hear from you, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. We always are looking, and we actually, for baseball, we try to call them host parents. And so we love just hearing from more parents and families that want to host a baseball player. It's a really cool experience. We always hear from our host families about, the weddings or the different events that they've gone to from previous host kiddos, and so it's just a really cool experience, and guys really love it. They get to really be a part of this family, and so it's a really cool way for them to really meet the community too, because they're only here for 2 to 3 months, and so it's a really nice way for them to really be introduced just to the Wenatchee Valley in general.
And it's not a huge inconvenience for host families, because as Allie mentioned, they have the games, but half the games are on the road. And even when they're at home, the guys will do batting practice, or they have to be at the ballpark 3 hours before first pitch. So it's not like they're just hanging around your couch and eating you out of house and home. They're
pretty sure they sleep most of the day. So.
Yeah, they do sleep most of the day. But one of the things that you get as a host family is you get season tickets, which means you get the best seats in the house right down there. If you got kids, they get to go to the youth camps for free, all that good stuff.
Yep. You know the drill, Dan.
I know the drill, Dan. Well, I've seen the kids in the kids camp. They just love it.
Our kids camps are awesome. They're
what do you have there on the table? What is that?
We have some new merchandise on our online store right now, but we do have an ugly sweater. A nice little.
That is ugly.
Ugly. Wow. Hey. But the perfect holiday sweater for oh my goodness. Here.
That's perfect right there. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I like that.
Perfect holiday sweater for your little party this winter. So.
You guys moved offices. You're in the same complex, but you moved from one part to the other. Did you find a bunch of stuff you didn't know was in there? You know how it is when you're in the same location.
So much stuff. You know what? I found stuff from 1999. It was great. Yeah, some wires. Did
you find any of my old paychecks that I never cashed?
Probably. I tossed them.
So can you do a lot of this online? Everybody's pointing and clicking now. Is that just the way to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come in person though. You
have regular office hours. They'd love to see call it in advance maybe.
10 to 4 is normally when sometimes 9 to 4, but it's typically 10 to 4 is a good time to
and just basically every piece of merchandise that you have, be it t-shirts or jerseys or hats or anything baseball related, there at the office, so you can get it right there.
Yes, right then and there.
Okay.
Perfect.
And complimentary gift wrap.
I can maybe consider it.
I'm making out commit to something that she doesn't want to commit to. Mitch is coming back, plus a new coach. The schedule's out there. Billet families, Merry Christmas from the Apple Sox. What else do we need to talk about before we cut you loose and let you go back to work and take care of the dog? Did we get everything taken care of?
You didn't talk about the Mariners at all.
Well, they. You didn't
talk. You normally bring up
I
the
do.
Mariners
I usually throw a little Mariner action in. Be honest with you, I've been following the World Cup.
Oh, so, okay. That was very exciting.
That was, and it still is. The Americans are out of it, but I'm a World Cup guy. Mariners are doing fine. They'll be great. They'll be, they made the playoffs. We like that.
I know.
And hopefully the Apple Sox will return to the postseason and make a deeper run than they did last time. It's fun when you're one of the 4 best teams in the league.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It is very fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to win, right?
Playoffs are better than not playoffs. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Allie Shank, everybody, give her a big hand. Again, applesox.com, and everything is there that you need to know. But I would recommend that you download the schedule. You can just right-click it and save the image as.
They believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. Davis and create a plan you take the time to enjoy the fire best life. Let the financial advisors Davis and chart your retirement future today.
Pretty cool view from a camera looking at the Cashmere Bridge on this Tuesday edition. I mean, the slides for the first of all, pretty cool day. And Wednesday, and Thursday, so you can up to some snow on a Thursday morning. I'll be done by so maybe it's possible. About the time we're the day Thursday, then we no returns, and the second system is a little more organized. And should be doing so on Saturday. So, got any further ado? Here's 16 temperature outlook is longer forecast with high predictions. Let's look at the 15 degrees. We have a better than 50 chance of seeing below temperature in the middle of December, and we have a better than 50 seeing above precipitation. They're pretty good. About 29. The afternoon highs, take the day off today, and then we take the day off on Wednesday. As I mentioned before, the timeline for snow. Wednesday night